Hey, church family. As Jesus taught his disciples the Lord's Prayer, one of the things that he taught them they ought to pray was, "Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one." With that thought in mind, I wonder, if you could ask God one question, what would it be? According to one poll, the number one question that many people would ask was, why? Or more specifically, why is there so much pain and suffering in the world? Some other questions that quickly follow on the heels of the first one are, if God is all-powerful and all-knowing, yet doesn't stop evil, then why should I believe in him? Or if he can't do anything about all this suffering, then he isn't much of a God at all, is he? These questions can shake our faith and fill us with fear and confusion. As Christians, we know that God is powerful and loving, but sometimes it can feel like he doesn't care, or like we're alone. Two things to keep in mind. Number one, God gets blamed for a lot of man's evil. And number two, God has given man free will. Sad to say that the more people are victimized by man's own evil, the more they tend to blame God. After all, we have to blame someone, right? But the truth is we can make our own choices, and those choices have consequences. So the question remains, why does God, who is all-loving and all-powerful, allow suffering and evil? Well, trust me on this, no answer you could ever find would be adequate. But God's main concern is that we trust him to be able to bring good out of evil. And I pray that we'd remember that if he was able to do that when mankind murdered his own innocent son, then he can do it still with all the suffering, injustice, and unrest in our world today. Amen.